$35 million that Maine receives from the federal government is designed to go toward affordable device programs and training that would improve access to the internet, as well as the understanding of how modern technology works. That money was recently cut, and it's something people here in Maine say is desperately needed. Pearl Small reports.
And people were having to use their phone to file for assistance, to look for jobs, get houses.
As the digital age continues to make strides,
Some of the initiatives...
Kayla Lewis says she's noticed Maine slowly falling behind. Working in community engagement in York County, she's seen issues that range from locals not being able to afford an adequate device to those who get them but don't know how to use them.
I've heard so many stories about people not even being able to ask their family members for assistance because they themselves are also confused.
When the 2021 Digital Equity Act was passed, nearly $3 billion was earmarked to combat issues like these nationwide. Maine was supposed to get $35 million of it until the Trump administration cut the funds this past Friday.
It has rippling consequences, and from our 95-year-old grannies to our 15-year-old.
$10 million was supposed to go to the Maine Connectivity Authority, which has spent the last few years planning to make infrastructure improvements that will increase high-speed internet access across rural areas of the state.
Along with that, they also need the ability, they need the skills, they need the devices, and they need to be able to stay safe online.
COO Brian Allenby says those infrastructure plans would become useless if people living in those areas can't use them. The money from the Digital Equity Act was meant to help them do that. But in a letter, the U.S. Department of Commerce accused the funds of being administered using unconstitutional racial preferences, something Allenby says he's still trying to understand.
The covered populations that are referenced in the Digital Equity Act are folks like veterans, people who live in rural areas, low-income households. It doesn't have anything to do with race.
Every Mainer should be concerned about the cuts, according to Lewis, because getting Maine's communities back up to date will give them the ability to compete in the modern-day workforce, benefiting the state's economy and everyone who lives here.
It's not a race thing, it's not an ethnicity thing, it's a Mainer thing.
In York County, Pearl Small, News Center, Maine.
We did reach out to the Federal Department of Commerce for a comment on this story, but have not yet heard back.